Yeah, we'll need to chop those bramble bushes back, I think.
Not till I've picked the bramble.
No. Did I give you my recipe for bramble gin? Or bramble vodka? It's bramble liqueur.
Well, I make
Very
raspberry
nice.
gin.
Same sort of thing. 250 grams of them, 700 grams of sugar, and a 750 millilitre bottle of vodka in a 1 litre Kilner jar.
Yeah.
Just shake it every day till the sugar dissolves. Marvellous. And then have the blackberries with ice cream afterwards. How yummy. Righty ho, so here we are, all aboard the Skylark, ready to begin. So we said that we'd probably just run a lesson. Happy to do that? And see how we go? Review as we go along?
Yeah, a bit nervous, but
That's
yeah, we'll
okay.
give it a go.
Don't worry about it. There's no right and there's no wrong. What we're doing is we're just establishing a start point. So what we'll do is we can run the lesson through. If at any point you want to, break out and ask for help, feel free. If I feel there's the need, then I'll stop being the learner.
Yeah,
And
that might happen a few times.
well, that's okay. It doesn't matter how many times it happens. And the important thing I think from the end of today is, what we're chatting about before, is that we've got some stuff we can take away, reflect on, work out what worked, what didn't work, and put together a method of working that works for you. And using that, then we can move forward and get you to where we need to be. Anything you want to add to that? Does that seem like a reasonable starting point?
Yeah, because I'm totally learning, and
Okay.
you're teacher, coach, instructor. I'm looking at you as if you're an instructor. That's what's making me.
Right.
I think in my head, if I had a total learner here now and there were nobody here,
Right.
I'd feel a bit more comfortable.
Okay.
I don't know why that is, because then if you do say anything wrong, that learner's not going to know. At the stage what we're at now, that's what it feels like.
What you're going to do is to teach somebody, no matter who it is, to drive the way you can drive. Now, when you look at your driving, on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 was totally rubbish and 10 was just super polished and slick, where would you say your driving was?
At the moment, 9.5.
Okay. So do you think that's worth learning? Okay. So I want you to just teach me that.
Yeah.
So, in terms of what we're doing, my name's Bob. Would it help you if I changed the name?
No, keep it
Okay.
to Bob.
So I'm just Bob. And even I'd say this, if you come to a workshop that I run, so I'm just Bob, I'm just a job and driving instructor. It's not special about me. Everything I do in life, I do the same as you do. So there's no...
So what lesson... What are we going to cover today then?
Okay, so you wanted to throw it over to me. Do you want to change your mind and you pick something, or are you happy for me to just...
Do you want to do cockpit drill and controls?
Okay,
also?
well, if we said that today's the lesson number 1.
So imagine that I've picked you up and you've never driven. Well, I can't assume that I've got to ask questions.
So let me paint a picture for you as a start point. Let's say my name's Bob.
Yeah.
I'm due to do my first lesson today. First ever driving lesson I've had. And your school sent you along to do it. I've got my licence. You've checked that. You've checked my eyesight. We've run through the terms and conditions. I'm aware of all the limitations with drugs, alcohol, all that kind of stuff. So I'm familiar with all that, and we're ready to begin. Just before you start, gather any resources that you want. Take a moment to gird your loins, and then we'll begin. Do you want it that free form? Is that okay?
Yeah. I can see this going to go.
Okay.
But we'll just...
So where would you start?
Pleased to meet you, Bob. My name's Darren.
Hi, Darren. Pleased to meet you.
Feel free to call me Darren.
Oh, okay.
Do you mind if I call you Bob?
No, that's fine.
Have you had any experience with driving cars at all, Bob?
I've had a go with my mates.
So you'd say you've got a rough idea on certain things at car, what you've got to do? Have you seen your mate with stuff, how he drives and that?
Yeah, I've seen how he drives, yeah.
So, are you excited for today?
I am. Can't wait to get going.
Right, today then, Bob, if it's alright with you, we're going to cover a thing what's called a cockpit drill. Have you heard of that?
No.
No. Certain...
Is that like what pilots do?
Similar, but in a car.
Alright, okay.
It's just a series of checks what you've got to do to make sure you're safe and comfortable that you can operate all controls.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, it's fine, yeah.
So, first of all, when we first get in a car, have you got any idea what's the first thing you do? Part of cockpit drill.
Um,
When you first get in, you open your door.
oh, well, I have to shut the door, wouldn't
Yeah. Could you tell me, how would you know whether doors are shut?
I? You've got like a little bit of a rattle, can you? Seems to be alright.
Yeah.
Not sure about yours.
But also you can see, if you look in this mirror here, you can see it outside at car. If I open the door, see the rubber what runs at bottom of the window?
Oh, yeah.
See when I open the door, it breaks the seal. Look, can you see it? It's not lined up, and once I shut it, look, the rubber.
Well, it's in a straight line now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's how you know that your doors are shut.
Okay.
Well, what do you think comes next?
I don't know.
Seat.
Alright.
So you need to be comfortable.
Alright.
Can I just break out a roll there?
Of course you can.
I ain't got my PST with me, have I?
That's okay. Do you want to go get it? Feel free.
I don't know. In this position now, would I, if I saw that you were picking it up, alright, I wouldn't need a PST, would I? Do you think?
I don't know. What matters is how it's feeling for you.
At the moment, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else? Is there a different way you could do it, do you think?
I don't know.
But you can tell me if I'm right here, but what it looks like is you're trying to force yourself out of telling me everything, Maud. And it feels like it's making you stilted. I don't know if I'm right or not.
Yeah.
Right. Have a think about what you've just said to me. Make myself comfortable. Where could I go with that?
You could just go on like that.
I can make the seat lie down, couldn't I? So, how much do I know? So,
Nothing,
I've had a go
yeah.
in my mate's car. I've probably been a passenger in a car, haven't I? So, just rewind back to the beginning. Just try and think about how can you tap into what I already know. You're saying, do I know what a cockpit drill is? No.
Yeah.
Do I know how to adjust the seat? Yeah. Do I know how to close the door? Yeah. Do I know how to put a seatbelt on? Yeah. But that doesn't mean cockpit drill to me. So when you're in, how do you think you need to set the car up so you can drive it? Oh. And that might give you a different opening, but then I'm doing the work and you're not.
Yeah.
Well, at the minute, you're trying to pick from a list of things in your head.
I know, I'm trying to think, yeah.
Find out what I know. So, do you know what a cockpit drill is? No. Well, that's what we do to get ourselves comfortable when we get in the car. How do you think you might do that? Or, we get ourselves so we can reach all the controls. Do you think you could set it up that way? Well, I'm not sure. But have a go. And just see. And he might go, oh, I don't know. But is he really going to need the sort of level of help that we sometimes plan on giving him? So I think the key thing is find out who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Lovely introduction. Very nice. How did that feel?
Yeah, that felt
Comfy with that
alright
bit?
because I practiced that bit at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
The bit that you cannot practice is what?
It's what you're going to come out with.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we've got to get into this mode of listening. Ask a question, listen.
Yeah.
Ask a question, listen. Do I know what a cockpit drill is? No. Why would I? So I say, well, that's what pilots use, isn't it? So it makes life easy for the examiner, doesn't it? As you can just go, I don't know. You know? How do you think you might set the car up? Oh, that's a different question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Forces me into a thinking mode. So that might be a bit more useful. I don't know. Just a thought. Any thoughts, Val?
No. It's quite true.
Want to rewind?
More questions? Right?
Take
Yeah.
a moment. If you want the PST, feel free to go and get that. If you want to use the presenter, you want to use the book, it's
I'll
entirely
leave
up to you.
PST because then I see it like I might be learning more. Then that's like a safety thing for me.
Okay. Okay, so we've done the introductions.
Yeah.
Everything's working okay. Hi, good morning. Happy to call you down. You're going to call me Bob. Over to you.
Yeah. Right then, Bob, before we actually can start driving, we've got to make sure that we do a series of safety checks and make sure you're comfortable in car.
All right.
It's called cockpit drill.
All right, right.
So when we first get in the car, do you know what the first thing that you might check?
No.
No, make sure your doors are shut.
All right, yeah.
So if you just open your door and just make sure there's nobody coming when you open the door. Just give it a good pull.
Yeah, that's shut.
Now, if you look in your mirrors, you can see this rubber seal at bottom of the window. If the door won't quite shut, you can see it breaks the rubber line, look, the seal.
Oh, yeah.
And so as you pull it through, you can see it's lined up.
All right.
The back.
Oh, the light goes on and on, doesn't it? Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah,
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, they're shut, aren't they? I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all in line. Right. Next thing, do you know what the next thing could be?
No.
How about making yourself comfortable with seat?
All right.
Making sure that the seat's adjusted so you can operate the pedals with your feet. So if you
I can do that, yeah.
if you put your hand down underneath seat, there's a lever on the right hand side thing. If you pull it up, the seat will slide forwards and back like
All
that.
right. Okay, yeah.
So if you slide it to where you can, this left pedal here, which is called the clutch, which we'll talk about later on, if you can press that clutch all the way down to the floor with just a slight bend in your knee, nice and comfortable.
Oh, it's a bit far away, that, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you just slide your seat, what's that feel like?
That feels all right, yeah.
Yeah. And push it all the way down and all the way up here. A slight bend in your knee. Yeah. And also you can change the tilt of the seat.
Oh, yeah, it's at this side, isn't it?
Yeah, there's like an opposite side. If you, so if you just put your hands on the steering wheel now and just move your hands around steer, does that feel comfortable?
Yeah, yeah, I think it's all right, yeah.
Yeah. Next is a head restraint. Do you know what that head restraint's for?
To stop you getting whiplash, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's got to be adjusted right. The thickest part of it needs to be in line with your eyes or top of your ears. So if you put your head back like that, and you just put your top of your ear onto head restraint and then have a look if it's in the thickest part. Which some of them only go so high. Can I just break out a roll?
Okay, of course you can, anytime you like.
What happens if the head restraints like that is not the thickest part and it don't go any higher?
Okay, then I'll break out a roll. How do you tell whether your head restraint's the right height? In any car? How can you tell? You know.
Is it that movement? If
If you put your head back against it,
yeah,
as you push into it, your head shouldn't rock.
yeah.
If your head rocks, it's not in the right place. So the last thing you want is your head hitting that and then your neck going forward.
Yeah.
So that's how you tell.
So you've got to put it
Not
in
level your ears
roll.
are out.
Yeah.
Just
Oh.
so when you push back, what happens to your head? If it rolls forward or rolls back, it's not in the right place. Mess
Oh,
around
so that's
with
the right thing to say instead of, yeah.
it. It's just like reference points. They're absolute waste of time.
I know, it's just what
Instead
happened.
of top of me, yeah. What if you got somebody who's got pointy ears? So that's the way to tell. That's right. Okay. Happy with that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that feels all right. Yeah. Okay. Back over to your bag and roll.
What are we up to now? Right, we've set a seat up, Bob, for
Yeah.
comfortable,
That
so you
all
can
feels okay. Yeah. Yeah.
operate steering wheel, put your clutch down. The next thing we need to do. Have you got any idea what's the next thing?
No.
No, mirrors.
All right. Look for the seat behind you, aren't they?
Yeah. Do you know why we've got mirrors on car?
There's the seat behind you.
Yeah. And we've got these mirrors here to see outside it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Side of the car there. Just one thing, always make sure that you adjust your seat before your mirrors, because if you adjust your mirrors and then your seat and everything's going to be out, then you're going to have to adjust your mirrors again.
All right,
So
okay,
just
yeah.
make sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Do you know what type of glass this is? Yeah, like,
Oh, this is flat glass, isn't it?
yeah, flat glass. You get a true interpretation of
These
what's
ones are
behind you.
curved. Is that right?
Yeah, they're curved. They make the car further away than what it actually is. It's just to give a wider field of vision. Yeah. There's another area of the car what mirrors don't cover, and you might have heard of somebody mentioning this. I don't know whether you have. Spot.
Oh, the blind spot.
Yeah, blind spot.
Yeah.
Have you got any idea where blind spot is?
Well, it's the bit you cannot see in the mirror, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you want me to? I'll get out and I'll just show you where blind spot is.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Can you see me in your mirrors there, Bob?
I can. Yeah.
Can you see me now?
Yeah.
Now?
Oh no.
No. Just look round. This is your blind spot.
All right. Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Same. Can you see me in the other mirror, Bob?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you see me now?
Oh no. All right. Okay.
Just out a roll a minute, Bob. Couldn't hear you there. I should have put that window down.
Sorry. It's party reflection for next time. Note to self when I get out the car, drop the window.
Oh, yeah, right.
Eh?
Is this filming? Is this on camera?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is just for our private use, this.
Ah.
In your private use. Just internal stuff while we find our way through it.
Just still out a roll.
Yeah, fire away.
Well, yeah, I'm going to have to polish up on it, but it's only your first go, but I didn't mention it about these mirrors, did I? About seeing so much car in there and the rest of it.
You haven't mentioned it yet. You're still talking about mirrors, aren't you?
Yeah.
But it might have knocked you out with the blind spot, wouldn't it? If the mirror now needs moving. So it's probably better to do it earlier.
Yeah.
But, you know, what are the thought to see behind? Can you see behind? Yeah. How good a view can you get? So if we just ask the supplemental questions, and again, you know, it all doesn't have to come from you. Good stuff, though. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Back and roll. So we've done the doors, done the seat,
Yeah.
done the mirrors.
Yeah. Right, next thing we need to do, Bob, is seat belt.
All right.
Do you know what legal requirement is for a seat belt?
No.
It's your
Oh no, wait a minute. I did that on my theory. It's up to me to put mine on, and any kids in the car, isn't it?
Yeah.
For any
14.
adults, it's up to them.
Yeah. 14. If you're under 14,
Right.
you're responsible for them putting the belt on.
Okay.
Just out of roll 2 minutes,
Yeah,
Bob,
go
I
on.
forgot about that 14.
All right.
I can't remember if it's 14 or under or 14.
Stone.
14 stone, yeah.
No, 14 or under. That's right.
Right, back in roll then.
Okay.
So, if you like to put your seat belt on, Bob, just always make sure that it ain't twisted. Yeah. See how it's twisted there?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you want
All
Yeah.
right. It's not right, is it?
that it stays flat over your body and it comes over your shoulder. You don't want to be too tight. If you looked at right there, you'll see that there's like an adjuster. So if it was too tight, you can lift that up. You just press that, lift it up like that.
All right.
If it was too tight on your shoulder there, how does that feel?
That feels all right, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, as long as it lays flat over across your chest and it's not twisted and you're comfortable.
Yeah, feels all right.
Yeah. If you just take your seatbelt with your hand, just at the top there, and just give it a quick pull. When you brake sharp, that's what the seatbelt does. It locks in position, so it stops you from going
All right.
through the window.
I'll see, like, test if they're working or not.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Out a roll.
Right. So how was it?
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah, go on then. What? A 10 will do.
Yeah, if it had been a real learner, yeah, I might have come across as, I didn't know what I was doing. But at least we got there at the end.
Real learners would never know you don't know what you're doing. Just to share a story with you, I remember 27 years ago now, sat round the corner from my first pupil, terrified that I was going to make a mess of it. And I did. But the learner didn't know. So,
Well, I was saying 10 years ago when I was with BSM, I was proper nervous and then wait for I didn't even know it earlier.
So, 1 to 10. Where would you say that one sat?
About a 6.
Okay.
It's just nerves, it's just getting back into it.
Well, I mean, the only thing
Yeah.
that matters, it doesn't matter what caused the 6. All that matters is, what might we change to make that a 7 or an 8 or a 9 or a 10? So take a minute to think about that. What else might you do to get a better score, do you think?
Relax a bit more and just have it in my mind that you're a mate from work or something. Not to get complacent about stuff, but just feel more at ease with you. Because if I'm not at ease with you, the learner ain't going to be at ease with yourself. They're going to pick up on it.
It doesn't help you perform, does it?
No.
That nervous. So, what are you feeling when that happens? Is it like a tightness here? Or here? Does your tongue feel a little dry?
Not a tight. It's just fear. At the moment, it's just fear. sounding stupid and not knowing what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, I think the key thing, it's useful to recognise how it feels when you're getting tense. So when you recognise it, you can then perhaps build in a coping strategy. One of the key things that can help people in those situations is regulating your breathing. Now, what it does, it's not anything, it's not magical, but it just gives you something else to think about other than the fact that you're nervous. And if you distract your conscious mind that way, things settle down fairly quickly. So if you feel it happening to you, just count the breath in and out. You only have to do it for a second or two. Your body will relax, and then you can carry on. So it's just learning to recognise it, because people try and think, well, I'll take a magic pill and it'll stop me being nervous. No, nothing will stop you being nervous. You're always going to be nervous. What you've got to learn to do is to manage those nerves.
Because nerves,
under pressure.
if you control them, it can be a good thing, can't it? It's like stress. It can get a good stress and a bad stress. Yeah.
So we've got to get comfortable in the situation. How do you think it worked in terms of who was doing most of the talking, you or me?
It might have been me. It was a little bit dictator.
Okay, in percentage terms, what would you say that was?
About 65 to me, 35 to you, something like that.
Okay.
But I assume as well, it's easy to assume, and I said just make yourself comfortable at sea. Like, should be make yourself comfortable that you can operate controls.
Okay, so how might you phrase that differently, do you think?
Do you know why you've got to make yourself comfortable in your seating position, Bob? No.
Is it important that I know why, or is it important that I can do it?
Important that you can do it.
So just, you might say something like, but it's important you can reach all the main controls. So see if you can put your seat in a position where you can do that. See what happens. And then work away from there.
Yeah.
We already know if we were going to move on, would you explain to me what the clutch is if you were going to go through the rest of the controls? From that lesson? Or have I just shown you that I know what it is? Oh, that's the clutch, isn't it? And push that all the way down.
Yeah.
So if we're listening carefully, we pick up on that sort of stuff. If you're just telling stuff, you're not really finding out anything about me at all.
Yeah.
So if we can just try and get the learner involved a little bit more, I think is the key. And by asking questions and listening to the response. Do you know what a cockpit drill is? No. What do you learn about me? Nothing. That I don't know.
I know. What I'm learning about you is that you think I'm daft, and I know I'm daft for asking that question.
No, not at all. It's just I'm just playing the role of somebody who's maybe never done it before. You start using terms like cockpit drill, they go, what? Well, what do you mean? What do you mean cockpit drill? And if they're not, like you say, well, have you read your book? Oh, no, I didn't get time. So it's just like, what do you think you need to do when you get in the car to be able to reach all the pedals? And then, I might need to do that. Do you want to have a bash? Show me how we do that. Like you did with the seatbelt. Just put it on, let me have a look. And then you were watching me then, of course, and you spotted that I twisted it.
Yeah.
And I twisted it, this is me in roll, I twisted it because I knew you were watching.
So I'd pick up.
Yeah. I might have also done it if I knew you weren't watching, but that was just to demonstrate that, if you get that level, you let me do it and you were watching, so you're going to pick stuff up. Where if you're just talking about stuff and you're trying to remember a boatload of stuff, you're not really watching what I'm doing. It's not really an interactive thing. Does that make sense? Makes sense to me, but that doesn't really make sense to you.
It's first automatic thing to do is start to run off at mouth and not listen. And
That's all right.
You instinctively want to do it, don't you? It's difficult.
Well, I think the key thing is that we're finding things, or we're hoping to find things that work for you. And it doesn't, at this stage, it doesn't matter if it completely crashes and burns. It's neither here nor there. There's no right, there's no wrong. If something hasn't gone right, it's the Edison thing, 9,999 times he tried to invent the light bulb, and on the 10,000th time he got it. But he didn't see them 9,999 as failures. They were just part of the journey that got him to where he wanted to be. That's what we're about here, really. It's just experimentation, especially in these early stages. We're just finding our feet. Yeah. And to try and hold yourself up to a standard, that's maybe what you would expect at the end, well, it's always going to be difficult to achieve that. And then that way lies disappointment, where if you just think, okay, here's what we're working on. Let's just work on that a little bit, and let's get that right. And then once you've got that right, let's bring something else in, something else. And you're building up a set of skills. And by building them up, by finding them yourself, they become solid, and you can rely on them, and they're dependable, and they'll work under extreme pressure because they're your ideas and you've come up with them. That's the thinking behind it.
Yeah.
So in terms of that, what would you like to do there? And with that again, do you want to run it again? Do you want to leave it, move on to something else? Do you want to try a different way of doing it?
We're going to foot controls
Okay.
and hand controls.
As part of your reflection, fill in the login, write down how it all worked, share the video with you so you can re-watch it.
Yeah.
What worked, what didn't work, what you might do differently next time, how you were feeling when it happened, what you did about that sort of stuff. So okay, we'll assume, I'll go back in a roll in a second, we'll assume that we've done all of that, we've got everything set the way we want. I'll leave the seatbelt off because it's chafing, but we'll pretend it's on because we're not going to move off anywhere. So we've got everything set the way we want it. Back over to you.
Right, but the next thing we need to look at is foot controls and hand controls.
All right.
You got any idea what I mean by foot controls?
Well,
Can you
is
see
that
the
this
three
one down
pedals?
here? Yeah.
Which one do you think is going to make the car go faster?
It's
Have
the
you got any
accelerator,
idea?
isn't it?
Yeah.
That one,
Do you know how to operate that?
Yeah, you push it down to make it go more and off.
Yeah. You've got like squeeze it. It's really sensitive, is that pedal?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You've got to squeeze it really nice and gently.
All right, okay.
Because if you put your foot down really quickly, it'll run our engine
Yeah.
level.
Do
Do you know what? Well, I can see that you're operating it with your right foot.
Yeah.
Operating right foot. Do you know what the middle one's for?
That's the brake, isn't it?
Yeah, brake. Do you know how we operate that?
That's you push it in the brakes. Come on.
Yeah, but we squeeze it. It's a bit similar like accelerator. We squeeze it, and then as the car will be coming to slow down, we just press it a little bit.
Right.
more.
Okay.
So as the car's slowing down, we just squeeze it gradually.
Okay.
Do you know what the left pedal's
That's
for?
the clutch, isn't it?
Yeah, you've already shoved that down, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. How does that feel? It feels quite slack. Though.
It does slacken that one, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know how we operate the clutch?
Do I know what? Sorry.
Do you know how we operate it? When we're actually fetching it up, it always, you can shove it down as fast as you want, but when we're fetching it up, it's got to be a smooth motion. You fetch it up just nice and smooth.
All right, yeah.
Have you got any idea what the clutch does?
It's for like changing gear, isn't it? And moving up, moving away, and
It's
stopping.
a link between the engine and the gearbox.
I'll just stop you there, Darren.
Yeah.
Do I know what it's for?
No, so
You just asked me the question. Do I know what it's for? What did I say?
Change gear.
I'm moving off and stopping.
Yeah.
Do I need any more information?
No.
What do you think?
I'm only saying that because I've watched that YouTube video and you
Yeah.
explained to this person about its link. Yeah.
But if somebody knows what it's for,
Yeah.
all right.
It's yeah.
When are you going to find out whether they know?
When you start to
So
use
maybe
it.
bring it up too quick. How was that? Well, I felt a bit lumpy.
Yeah.
So at this stage, you can put a ton of detail in there. Is that going to make any difference at all?
No, because it'll fill pupils head up with too much stuff, and
Possibly.
I felt as though I were dictating again.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But you've asked me if I know what it is, and I've told
Yeah.
you. Tick, move on. So, two of them.
Yeah.
One of them. Rewind. Pedals again.
Why do you want me to go foot pedals again?
Yeah. Could you do it a different way?
Yeah, listen more.
Okay, go on then.
Right, foot controls, Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Have you got any idea what the right pedal's for?
Yeah, that's the accelerator, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that alters the amount of fuel that goes in the air mixture that goes in the carburetor and through the intake, isn't it?
Yeah. Makes the car speed up. And
Stop.
I've done it again, and
What have I just told you?
yeah. Yeah.
Did you know that that's what the accelerator did?
Well,
That
yeah.
alters the air and fuel
Yeah.
mixture. If I know that, do you need to tell me anything else?
Only reason I said it is because I thought, because you said fuel and mixture, it didn't twig in my mind that stuff I had to say.
So, how could you? So you're jumping in,
Yeah.
which is fine. It's completely okay. You're jumping in because you've got a ton of information. Is there anything you could do at that point that might change that?
Just listen to what you're saying,
Also,
because I'm wanting to.
have a moment to just digest what's being said. A pause is fine.
Yeah.
You're allowed to think, Just think, oh,
Yeah.
that's a high level of knowledge. You could, I suppose, if you wanted to, in the real world, say, well, it's a high level of knowledge. How do you know about that? Oh, I'm a mechanic. You might already know that. But if somebody's got that level of knowledge, they know how that pedal works. They know they're not going to bang that to the floor because it's not going to be effective. So listen to what's being said. Just have a moment to think about it, process it, then decide what your next question is. I suspect what happened there is you'd already made your mind up what you were going to say next. And so that was coming out no matter what I said.
I know,
So-
it was, because as soon as I said right foot controls, my first thought in my head was that right, that accelerator makes car go faster and slow down. No matter if you'd have said, if you'd have probably said it makes car go faster and slower,
Yeah.
Bob, it makes the car go faster and slower, I just thought I'd repeat it. Yeah.
So it's really important that we listen. And it's a very different way of doing it.
Yeah,
And it'll be foreign at first, so don't worry about it. You know, this is not how you were trained to do it when you did it before. It's like bang, 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 bang.
all right, well,
And-
bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've only, you wanted to try and get as much in as you could in that half an hour before the examiner said to you, that'll do. Now we'll move on. But that level of detail is necessary for somebody who hasn't got a clue what they're doing. But somebody who has, well, we've got to adapt it. So you've got all this information,
Yeah.
you've got to decide how much of that information does this person need. The easiest way to find out is ask them. So do you want to rewind that and try again?
Yeah, right, back in roll. Right, Bob, foot controls. Have you got any idea what the right pedal's for?
No.
No. It's called accelerator,
All right.
and if you press it, it increases speed at car, and then if you come off the pedal, it'll slow it down. Do you know how it's operated?
I watched my dad doing it. He seems
Yeah.
to be quite gentle with it.
Yeah, nice and gentle, because if you press it down really quickly, the car will rev up too much.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, are you happy with that?
Yeah.
Do you know what the middle one's for?
That's the brake, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you know what the brake does?
That slows you down, doesn't it?
Yeah. And you've operated it with your right foot, that's good.
Yeah.
How did you know that? Have you seen your dad?
Yeah. I've been watching him drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Oh.
calls that the gas, though. I think, or something like
Yeah.
that.
They'll call it gas because it's just it's a lot easier to say than accelerator, isn't it?
Okay.
Brake also does another thing, it gives a signal, do you know what I mean by that?
The lights going at the back, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's a good idea for lights to light up at back when you press it?
Well, I suppose so people know you're slowing down,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
They're not running the back of you, maybe.
Yeah, it's brilliant. You happy with that?
Yeah.
Do you know what the left pedal's for?
That's the clutch, isn't it?
Yeah. And you operated that with the correct foot.
Yeah.
You've seen your dad do it again, have you?
Yeah.
Do you know what the clutch is used for?
That's for changing gear and moving off and stopping, isn't it?
Yep. Brilliant. So you already had a little bit of knowledge, didn't you, about that, without me saying anything to you.
So I'll come in and roll then.
Yeah.
How was that?
A little bit better because I was listening, because accelerator, you didn't know what it was.
Mhm.
So I told you, because brake, you said it slowed the car down, but you didn't. But when I mentioned about signals, you knew that, so there was no point. When I said to you, did it give a signal? Yeah. It makes people, it tells people at back that you're slowing
Yeah.
down. I was tempted to come in again and say, yeah, that's good because people know that you're slow. You've already said it, so there's yeah.
So to be fair, I've gone through a range of different people's there, haven't I? If I didn't know what that is, I'm not
Yeah.
going to know what that is. But you showed that you were listening by adapting.
Yeah, because when with clutch you said you knew that it was used for
Yeah,
moving
oh,
up
yeah,
and
yeah.
stopping. And,
If I've got that level of knowledge, I know what that is.
Yeah.
But I just did that as an exercise for me, just to sort of see if I can try that and see if you are actually listening and you did adapt.
yeah.
So,
So when you're on about the clutch and you say that it's for moving off and stopping and changing gear, I don't need to go through all this business about clutch plates and stuff, or could I?
would I want that? What purpose do you think it might serve at this point?
Not really. Not really anything, because you're just going through basics first. You overload.
So if you, well, that's
Because
exactly
what
right.
I'm thinking about, as soon as I say, do you know what the clutch is? My mind's thinking, I've got to tell him about the clutch plates, because about fetching up nice and smooth.
You might need to do that, perhaps just before you move off and stop. But to tell me now, by the time you get to moving off and stopping, I might have forgotten. But the learner might not need it. So it's always a case of how can I best help this learner? If they're happy enough for that, it might be enough just to try it on the first attempt and see what happens. If it's a really terrible pull away, you haven't lost anything. You just think, all right, that didn't work.
So
What about you?
if you are moving off and stopping and you did jerk it and you pulled it to the side and I said to you, Bob, how do you reckon that went? Yeah, wait, well, all right, but
It was a
would
bit lumpy.
would I say to you, why do you think that happened?
Yeah.
And you'll say, well, you're either going to say, I don't know, or I've seen my dad do it, and I think it's when he fetches his clutch.
You can talk to them about stuff like how you feel.
He's
a great
definitely
opener.
listening with me. He's definitely listening to what you're saying. Because I'm not used to that. Not many people are. They just run off at mouth.
Well, yeah, we all do it. I do it constantly. To push forward, because I know you were a little concerned about when we first chatted this morning. On the exam, if you're listening to the examiner, he's going to tell you. In roll, he will tell you clearly. And Val will confirm that I've sat in the back of Part 3 tests thinking, how can you not hear what he's saying to you? Because they're hinting like crazy. There's stuff like, how's my mirror work? My last instructor used to be on my case all the time about that. It's just that you've not mentioned it. He's telling you.
You know what?
Keep an eye on
I
me.
refer that to what you're saying is, I referred it to my driving when, if I'm looking at that red car driving, you can't see what's happening, but yet when you look well ahead, I don't know, it just makes me feel so relaxed and I can see things, and I think that's similar with listening. If you listen to somebody, rather than just running off and not listening, you're not focused.
It's an interesting analogy that you make with the driving. And I think if you're just looking there, you get surprised by something that's happening a little beyond it. If you're listening to the learner, don't matter whether it's a real live learner or whether it's an examiner, if you're listening to them, you're not going to get ambushed. You're not going to give him the information he doesn't need. You're not going to paint yourself into a corner. You're just acting in the moment like you do when you're driving, by being aware of what's around and acting upon it. Whereas for giving one-way lectures, you're not acting upon anything other than the need to get that lecture off in less than 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So how did it feel inside?
It felt a lot better, that, because I know I was getting nervous before, thinking that I've got to get all this information out, whereas if I listen, sometimes you don't need to feel nervous because of what answer you're giving me.
So the way that you were feeling nervous before, wherever it was in your film, did you feel at that time?
No, because I felt good then, because I was interacting with you and what you were saying, I was interpreting what you were saying, and then not just feeling nervous that I've got to get all this information out running off at mouth.
I don't know if I should, I'm just really not sure, but I think what's happening there is you're just dropping into your normal human state. You're just having a conversation with somebody. And we all know how to do that. And we all know how to control conversations.
Yeah.
And we all know how to engage in them. So you drop into your natural state, I think. I think that's what's happening. Who knows? You can reflect on it and see what you think following that.
Yeah.
What next?
Hand controls.
Okay. Pick up from where we left off, back in roll.
Can I just come back out of it?
Of course you can.
On that, that cockpit door, we never mentioned anything about steering, did we? We didn't mention anything about steering wheel, is it? Not
No.
that. No, just wait till steering lesson.
How much detail do you need?
Not too much, I'll overload.
But you're just
people.
about to use hand control, so you could, if you've forgotten it, bring it in now,
Yeah.
if it's necessary. But just because you missed something out, it's not the end of the
Yeah.
world.
We'll leave steering out.
Okay.
Right, we'll go back in roll then,
Okay.
hand controls. Right, Bob, we've covered foot controls.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a look at hand controls now.
Right.
Yeah. Have you got any idea of the hand controls?
Well, it's this one, isn't it?
Yeah. You've seen what your dad's,
Yeah.
in your dad's car, where he's a
Yeah, yeah.
operates it. Right. Have you got any idea how the handbrake works?
But it just holds the car still, doesn't it? So it puts the brakes on.
Yeah. Puts the brakes on the, normally on most cars it's on the back. Do you know how to operate the handbrake?
Well, you just pull it up, don't you?
Yeah. Well, I'll just secure the car.
All right.
Brake, because when you take the handbrake off, it might roll forward.
All right. So you want me to take it off?
Yeah. So if you press that button in, then drop it down, then press the button in, and then lift it back up.
Just come on a roll there. you want me to let it off? Yeah. Watch what I do.
Oh, you already let it off.
No.
Oh.
You said, I said, do you want me to let it off? Yeah, and then you start instructing me. Do I need an instruction?
Yeah, because when I said let it off, you took it off, didn't you? And then I'm starting saying let it off. I was saying let it off, you've already let it off.
And was it all right? The way I
Yeah.
let it off?
Mhm.
So then, okay, put it back on.
Yeah.
So if you say let it off and I do that, put your foot in the brake again. I do that. And you say put it back on and I do that.
Then you'd say, it's okay, but just make sure that you press that button in before you lift it up. Because it's on a ratchet. And it might damage car. Damage the ratchet.
Right. I'm sure I was reading in the manual on my dad's car, it says you should do that. You should do that.
Maybe on old cars, but not on new ones.
No, his car's new.
Outer roll.
It does say that in the manual.
What that you...
Use the ratchet.
Does it?
Yes, that's the manufacturer's
I thought you
advice.
were trying to catch me out there.
No, this is where it all goes wrong. We give this one.
So
way
it is
lecture.
alright to do that.
Read the manual. That's what it says you should do. I mean, I'm not fond of it, but not for any good reason other than that's how I was told to do it. But
Yeah.
the manufacturers say use the ratchet. So, is the examiner going to get bent out of shape? I don't know. Stick with what we know so far.
Yeah.
Push the button in and do it. Any idea why you do that? Well, it might wear the mechanism out.
Yeah.
Fine. But we have to be careful with all this advice we give because we're not always right. Anyway, sorry. So, I've done that. I've put it back on. You've had the chat with me about the ratchet. Happy with that.
Yeah.
Back and roll.
Right, Bob. The next one is this lever. Have you got any idea what they're called?
That's gears, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you know what the gears are for on a car?
They're for like, for different speeds, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like first's for like moving off, and then fifth's for like highest. Be like on my bike.
Yeah. Yeah, brilliant. Outer roll.
Mhm.
My eyes gone a blank.
Right, just take a moment.
Because I was going to say, I was going to fetch clutch into it. Do I need to fetch clutch in? When you're changing gear, do you know which pedal you need? But you've already said that, haven't you, before, that the clutch is for moving off and stopping changing gear.
Mhm. Okay. So, what we hope to do here is to help me to learn. How could you do that?
By getting you to drive on
What might
up
work?
and down gears.
Do you want to try it and see?
Right, Bob, do you want to have a little drive on with this?
Yeah.
Changing gears, just practicing. So if you, which pedal are you going to shove
Well, that's
down?
the clutch for changing gear, isn't it?
If you just like to run through gears on a drive, and you can see you've got first,
Oh,
second.
yeah. So, well, shall I put it in first?
Yeah. Straight back for second.
It's like my dad's got to lift that thing up, haven't you?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. Do you know where neutral position is?
That's in the middle, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's lit like there, isn't it?
Yeah.
The spring does that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Is that the same on all cars?
What this?
This spring thing?
Yeah.
Ah, right, okay.
Outer roll. I'm saying yeah. I'm guessing it is.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Just outer roll again, because I'm struggling here. I keep stuck with mental blocks.
It's alright, that's what we're here for. Find ways around them.
It's,
If I was a real learner,
yeah.
would you be happy with that? Would you leave that be, or would you talk to me some more about it?
Probably leave it be.
What's the difference if it's me then? Is it that niggling doubt that I might be wrong?
Yeah, it's still that thing about I need to get information out to you because I'm teaching you. It's difficult to listen.
If I'm a real learner and you haven't done that in sufficient detail and I don't really know what's going to be going on, what would happen?
You'd be making mistakes, wouldn't
So,
you'd be
if I'm
trying-
Bob,
yeah.
enroll as a learner and there's not sufficient information, what do you think I might do?
You're going to do the same with the learner, not
And if I'm an
Mistakes.
examiner on the test and you haven't given me sufficient information, or I'm not clear on it, what am I going to do?
You're going to cock it up, aren't you? You're gonna,
Then what will you do?
Just ask question and answers.
You fix it, won't you?
Yeah.
So don't get too bogged down with the detail here. You'll get a chance to come back at it later. You're not out. You haven't failed because you haven't given me enough detail. As it happens, I've put it in every year correctly.
Yeah.
Worked it out on my own. Yep, that's good. Tick. Leave it be. The examiner's probably not going to be that user-friendly. He's probably going to go, oh, hang on a minute. But you would work with what you've got. So that is enough. Right, that's fine. Move on. This idea that we have as an industry that information can only come from you and learning can only come out of you is absolutely flawed. Absolutely,
that's what you
100% flawed. The learning can only come out of me. You might ask me questions, I go, yeah, I've got that, yeah, I've got it, and then I might decide later that I haven't really, just to see if you're going to spot that and fix it. Just work in the moment. Work with what you've got,
with what you're doing.
do the best you can. If you haven't done a good job, you'll get a chance to fix it later, so don't
because
stress.
of this system, what we're doing now, you feel as though it makes you feel as though you're not doing your job because you're not interpreting. You're going to learn this, and I'm going to teach you. That's what I'll get there. There's no
Of course
question
you will.
about that. I'll get there. It's just a different. Yeah, it's like now I'm looking at the mini. In my head, I'm thinking I'm going to tell Bob how to do the indicators. He's probably going to know because he's seen it a million times with his dad.
Possibly, but I might not. I might go, oh, I don't know. I don't normally. I've been paying attention to that because I knew I'd need it, but I've been looking at them. So, but if you're not listening, you're not going to pick that up.
Yeah.
So it throws you, doesn't it, when you think, oh, nothing to explain.
Yeah,
Right.
you think that you're going to explain because you think you've missed something.
When I'm doing, I still, even though I'm, pushing this, I still sometimes when I'm sat on a lesson and I'm not doing anything, I think I'm not earning me crust here. I'm not doing what I should be doing, but the learner's learning, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Now,
What's next?
well, there's indicators in there. We'll go
All right.
back in more for that.
Okay, off you go.
Right, Bob. Indicators. Do you know where indicators are on this car?
It's this one, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you know why we got indicators?
Let's let people know which way you're going, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you just want to operate, I mean, if I said to you, I want you to turn left, which way would you operate that stalk?
It goes the same way as the steering goes, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then if you were going to turn right,
It's that one.
yeah.
Well, it's a Vauxhall. This has got that two-step thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of them. I don't like them because sometimes it might flash 2 or 3 times, and other times it flashes a lot more.
Yeah, my dad's always swearing
Yeah.
it is.
Outer roll.
Mhm.
Yeah, I listened to you that time then. But you know when I said, do you know what that stalk's for?
Mhm.
Could that... Yeah, if you would have said... Well, you knew them, but if you would have said, I don't know at all, then you'd tell... Then you'd explain what it's
All right.
this stalk here.
Rewind. Ask me the question again.
Right, Bob. Indicators. Do you know what indicators are on this car?
No.
It's this stalk here.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. If we're driving down the road and I say I want you to take next road on the left, which way are you going to move that stalk?
Is it-
No. If you just keep your hand at wheel and just use it, thick finger and just
well, how can I pull it out with my finger? Is this right behind there?
yeah, just want to go down.
All right. On the
Yeah,
left.
yeah, just put your finger on top and just press it down.
What's just like that?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
It's easy, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then if I want to turn the next right, which way would you do it?
Is it like just like the other way?
Yeah, back up.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice and easy.
Yeah.
You all right with that?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Outer roll, yeah. This is the thing where I'm going to go home today and I will pick it up
Yeah.
because it's changing me.
The learning doesn't
thinking.
happen
Yeah,
here. The learning happens afterwards,
Yeah.
where you do the reflection. Think back to your driving. Look at the changes you made in you made some massive changes in your driving. And I didn't instruct you to do it, did I? You went home. We discussed a lot of stuff.
yeah,
You went home. You thought about it. You found a different way of doing it. You put that into practice, and away you went. It'll work exactly the same here. It's like a bodybuilder goes to the gym. They pump iron for ages. It's not the pumping iron that builds the muscle. It's what happens afterwards. It's the feeding of the tissue afterwards. Because you waste it when you're working, then you feed it, which builds it. And
Yeah.
that's what we're doing here. The feeding or the building or the skill comes in the reflection afterwards. So that's fine. That's all right. No matter how it goes here. So two completely different scenarios there. What happened when you said, what do you do when I turn left?
Yeah,
I'm trying to pull it out. That's the way the arrow points. It's that would be logical.
Yeah.
Well, you're watching what's happening, you're listening to what I'm doing, you're acting upon it.
Because
Were
I
you
could have said
effective?
it's a lot more simple than that, but all you got to do is just put your hand on the wheel and just get your finger, just tap it down like that. It's simple.
But I need this at 30 degrees or 40. So you're watching, you're reacting to what's happening. That's the most important thing, I think. And I think it's critical to be effective with learners. Doesn't matter who the learner is, whether it's me in role, whether it's an examiner, whether it's a real learner. If we're listening, we can get to the root of what that learner needs from you. And then you can supply it. So identify and meet the learner needs. So clearly two completely different learners. One, oh yeah, it's that, yeah. Watch my dad do that. It's that two-stage thing, isn't it? I've got a level of knowledge here.
Yeah.
Well, the other one, no. Obviously we need a lot of help. And then your average learner is probably going to be somewhere in between. But by identifying what the need is, then meeting it, you're much more effective. And it drops you into that conversation zone again.
Yeah.
Just normal life. Two-way process.
Yeah. Whereas if you go into that old way, you just feel and just you're this high and mighty and they're down here, and you're going to tell them, and if they're not listening, you're going to keep telling because.
Well, it's the easiest thing in the world for somebody in role. For me, sat here, because you can tell me whatever you want and just not listen. And if you're not engaging me in it, you've got no idea whether I'm listening or not. Are you happy with that? Yeah. Do you understand that? Yeah. You've got no idea.
Because when I took my test in 1990, instructor was saying, "Are you happy with that?" And you're going, "Yeah." Half the time I want. You could feel.
You
it
don't
because
want to
you
feel
just-
stupid by
I
saying
know.
no. So, good. Happy with that?
Yeah, it's a work in progress.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
I think with this kind of thing, it's always a work in progress. You're always working on it. I'm still working on it. Everybody's working on it.
It's like when I first met you, like you say, with me driving. There's been a massive difference only after 2 or 3 lessons. My mind just clicked, and I'm miles better now than what I used to be. It's a bit same with this.
Well, if you think about it, really, there weren't really lessons, were there? There were you finding stuff, discovering things, and finding different ways of doing it. That's what this is about here. You come back and do this again, be radically different. I've no doubt about it. Which is why I'm happy to use you for audit.
Yeah. So this is going to be like.
This is the format we'll use.
Value examiner.
It's exactly how it's going to be. This is exactly
What,
how
and
it's going to be.
I will be the instructor.
Yeah. We'll just do what we're doing here.
Or
What
will
we
you be
normally
will I be learning? You'll be.
No, I'll be the
Instructor.
learner.
Oh, and I'm just.
And we'll do it exactly what we're doing here. You'll be able to say to me, yeah, out of roll a minute. Or I'll be able to say, I'm coming out of roll.
So what is it? Is the examiner looking at me then?
No, he's looking at me.
Oh,
It's me he's examining.
but you're playing pupil, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm doing both.
And I'm just going to be like, so if I'll examiner now, they'll be looking at you, but I'll just be. So no matter if I cocked
now,
up,
Now your part 3 doesn't seem quite so hard, eh?
so if I cocked up on that audit,
It doesn't matter at all. Well, look what happened on our part 2. We had to change the plan, didn't we? Because it wasn't working. Doesn't matter. My job is to help you get to where you need to be. The little exercises we're doing here, everything that I'm doing, or at least I'm trying to make it that way, is designed to help you to learn from the situation.
Yeah.
So that's why I chop and change around and roll, and the radical, it won't come out. So just to see that we're helping you develop your listening skills and your watching skills and that kind of stuff. But it's me that's being examined, not you.
So if I practice at home, I'll just put girlfriend in that seat and just. She knows a hell of a lot about stuff. She hasn't even passed the test yet. But she knows stuff.
You got any kids?
No.
Any nephews, nieces?
Yeah, but they're way too young.
No, they're ideal. They're absolutely ideal. Get them in the driving seat. Get talking to them.
Because they're going to know, aren't they?
They might.
Even if they're 7 or 8 year old, they're going to have an idea.
Just listen to what they're saying.
Yeah.
Work around it. They'll love it. Your missus will get fed up with you. She is already with your currently driving, isn't she?
You know what? As I come here today, I dropped her off. I was supposed to drop her off near Witherspoon. Is it Wetherspoons? And I was coming to drive, and I just went straight by.
And my other half goes nuts. She said, will you stop that? No. I'm practicing. I've got a day's driving with Chris Gilbert. My driving needs to be sharp when I get there, so I'm practicing all the time.
Yeah. So going back to that cockpit door, then, if we got into mirrors and I said, do you know what difference is between this type of glass and that glass in there? if you say, yeah, this which you did, that's flat glass. There's no need to explain that. I know that now. That's the
You might ask another question if I say, oh, that's flat glass and they're curved.
why do you think they're curved?
Yeah.
And then
What difference does that
And then
make?
if you say, yeah, because it's a wilder field of vision, there's no point in me saying, yeah, you've done well there, Bob, because it's a wilder field of vision.
So, yeah.
It's no
Move
good.
on.
Yeah.
But if I go, oh no, well, what's the difference? Have a look. What do you notice? Oh, it looks closer there. That's the true picture. So that one's making a
Yeah.
lot further.
And that the examiner, he's going to throw that out. He'll probably say he doesn't know. Will he?
I think
He's
what
gonna
he'll
make
do.
it easy, is he?
Well, I don't know. He will. If you ask him good questions, you'll get good answers. I promise you. Absolutely promise you. Good questions have always got good answers. But if you're just asking him stuff and you start thinking, well, what's the point of this? Why are you doing that? Like, you know, if he said, oh, it's that. And then you start telling me, you'll be like, and they'll lose interest. Why wouldn't you? You know, you just think, well, I'm trying to help you, yeah, but you're not listening. But they're never going to try and trick you. They'll come out in a particular role. So you're not going to chopping and changing role like I did there, like knowing one thing and not knowing the other. You're not going to get that.
So he's either going to play a role of a pupil what doesn't know a lot, or because I know it's broken into two stages, isn't it? 225.
But there's an easy way of you finding out. Any idea what that is?
Finding out what role he's going to play.
Or what role he's in?
No.
Ask questions.
Oh yeah.
You kind of second
I
guess.
thought you were going to say, I'll have a look at internet, I'll put it on for you.
If you get PST number 6, what you need to look out for is no. No. It's not like that. Just engage. Like you would do with anybody. You know, it's before you can help somebody get to where they need to be, firstly you need to possibly know more than they know. But the most important thing is that you have to understand what they understand. And the only way you're going to do that is by having a discussion about it. You cannot second guess because you'll get it wrong every time. And then, you know, if you still, once you're trying to help somebody to get to where they want to be, if you still carry on showing that you know more, you're just showing off there. You're not really helping.
Yeah. So when talked about gears, when I said, do you know what this? See, that's what I said to you. Do you know what the gear lever is? That sounds bad to me. Would I say, do you know what this lever does? Even the first few.
Is the question important or is the answer important?
Answer.
So it doesn't matter how you ask it.
Yeah.
If it's in a way you go, well, I don't know what you're on about. He's telling you it's a bad question.
Yeah.
Well, you ask the question, you go, oh, it's this. Or you say, oh, I'm not right sure. So it's...
Because you made it easy then, because I listened to you and you said, oh yeah, first gear when we move off, and then there's big fruit gearbox, more speed. So I knew then that
I mean, I'm
I don't need
bouncing
to say
back and
anything,
forward
yeah.
to just test your listening skills. So, of all the skills you've used today, which would you say was the most important?
the skill, listening to what you're saying, definitely 100%.
Is that for me, or is that for real life learners, or is that for the examiner?
It's for real life learners.
For everybody, innit? It's for everybody.
Because if you've just got that, if you're not a listener, and say if you would have been a real pupil and would have been doing moving off and stopping, and if I didn't ask a question, if you had any practice, and you've been practicing at home and you could do virtually everything, and I'm just sat here going, just telling you what to do, it's just a complete waste of money and time.
Yeah.
Because you can already do it.
I mean, the classic one is if you don't find out who you've got next to you, we'll let you get 10 minutes into your controls brief and then go, so let me see if I've got this right. Are these exactly the same as the ones on my motorbike? You've not asked. So, you know, have you got any experience? Is a great way, you know. You say, haven't you had any lessons before? No. And you're off and launch into your brief. Have you had a go before? I've had a go in my mate's car. How was that? How did you get on with that? Well, I found it dead easy. What were you able to do? Well, I got it up and down through the gearbox. And everything.
But like today, you'd never had any lessons.
I'd had a go in my mate's car.
Is that what you see?
I told you that.
Then? You see, if you
How
were on
was
your
that?
test and that examiner said that,
Oh, you'll still get a chance to recover.
yeah,
Because if he says he's done that, he cannot really get it completely wrong either, can he? So if we're listening right from the get-go.
yeah.
So I had to go in my mate's car. How did that work for you? What were you able to do? Oh, well, I tried moving off a couple of times, but I stalled. So already you know a little bit. So it's so critical, the listening thing, because it'll tell it. And examiners will give you so many clues on test. It's unbelievable. Give you many more clues than a learner will.
Yeah.
So, what next? Anything's possible. It's okay for you to say, I want to go home and think about it. I want to try something different. I want to try the same thing again.
There'll be safety checks before I start the engine.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll go back in roll and have a
Okay.
go.
On you go.
Right, Bob. We've done cockpit drill, foot controls and hand controls. Are you
Yeah.
all happy about them?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I think I know where everything is.
Yeah. Right, we're going to move on now to safety checks before we actually start the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Have you got any idea what they are?
No, I don't think so. No.
Handbrake. Make sure handbrake's on.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what next one is? Neutral.
All right. Oh, okay. Right.
So always make sure handbrake's on and it's in neutral
All right. Right.
before we actually start the engine.
Okay.
Why do you think car needs to be in neutral when we start engine? Do you know?
What would it move if I started the engine with it in gear?
Yeah.
All right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you started anywhere in gear, jump forward.
Right.
Only jump forward if we had the handbrake. If the handbrake was off.
Oh, okay. Right.
That's
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
we have handbrake on.
So I'll do that every time I start the
Yeah.
engine.
Yeah.
Right.
I would make sure handbrake in that order. Handbrake and then neutral.
Okay.
Are you happy with that?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Right. You see where key is in ignition?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you just turn it once, then turn it again, see you've got all these lights on the dash.
Oh yeah.
You can hear.
Some of them have gone out.
Yeah. What? The ones that have gone out is doing a pre-safety check. Make sure all electric management system's working, so you'll get so many what go out.
What, it checks itself?
Yeah, does a
That's clever,
self-system
innit?
check. And then once they've... Oh, do you know... Once they've gone out, do you know... When they've gone out, that means the system's checked them. Did you know that? That
No,
they
I
checked
didn't
them when
know.
they go out.
No.
And then you're left with these.
Does that mean that they're working then?
Yeah.
All right,
Once
okay.
they go... Yeah. Yeah, you're right there. Then you're left with these other ones. Have you got any idea what they are?
Well, that one's it's like an engine, isn't it?
Yeah, that's... Oh, the orange one.
Yeah.
That's engine management.
All right.
Yeah. So when we eventually do start the engine, that light will go out,
Oh, okay.
and then
That one's got like a battery on it.
yeah, that's a charge system battery.
All right.
And you've got that one with it. You know what that one is, don't you? You can tell with
Oh, it's a
looking at your
seatbelt light,
thing. Yeah,
isn't it?
seatbelt.
I'll put it on. And then I'm not sure about that one. It's just like a exclamation mark.
That's why. Just come out of roll there, Bob.
Okay.
A second. I was going to say that's for handbrake. It is for brakes and
It is, but
brakes
it's
as well, isn't it?
It's a general
Yeah.
hazard.
Mm.
But it also tells you if there's a fault on the braking system.
As we're going through it now, I'm listening to you to see whether you're saying that you know about it or you're not. As soon as I know that you don't, then I'll try and talk about it. I'm
Okay.
mumbling my words, but I'll
It's
get
all right.
there.
Don't worry about that. That's neither here nor there. You're listening. That's a great
Yeah.
thing.
So, if you turn, what we're going to do next, Bob, is we're going to start the engine up.
Right.
Just not yet. Have you? When you've been in your dad's car, and your mate's car, have you seen them? You'll have seen them start the engine,
Yeah,
won't you?
it's
So
like-
have you got an idea what to do next?
Right. Like turn the key now when it starts. You let go, don't you?
Yeah. Do you want to give it a go then? That's it.
Oh, those lights have gone out.
Yeah. When
Oh,
all
that
the,
one stayed on.
yeah, that's because your handbrake's on.
All right.
Yeah. Once we start moving and you release handbrake, that should go out. If it don't, if it stops on, it might be because you haven't took your handbrake all the way off.
All right. Okay.
And if you do, and if the handbrake is all the way off and it comes on, there might be a problem. It breaks. Then you have to
All
pull
right.
it.
Oh, okay.
Just start a roll there.
Yeah.
I feel as though I'm dictating again, and I should have said, what happens if that light? What do you reckon if you're driving and that light was on?
No, that's okay. That's okay. I mean, you've not told me something I didn't need or anything.
Yeah.
Or not responding the way that I could. There's other stuff that you can add in there that I don't know if you do as part of your routine when you're starting. When you start the engine, so just put your foot in the brake and put a bit of pressure on the steering. Now I know the power steerings work I know the vacuum assist's working on the brakes.
Yeah.
As soon as the car's moving, running brake check. Make sure it's pulling straight. If everybody knew how these things worked, the cars would break down less. So
People don't
it's a
think.
self-test.
Yeah.
The lights have come on that I expect to come on. The ones have gone off that I expect to go off. Start the engine, the rest have gone off. Handbrake light's still on. I'm going to apply some pressure at the brake, release the handbrake, note the back pressure. All systems working.
On
You should learn, is it?
Yeah. On your test, would examiner expect? Would he expect you to explain all them lights on them there or not?
Well,
Obs-
is it useful to know, do you think, for a learner?
Yeah, but your time restricted out. On
I think
you.
you've saved a lot of time already, haven't you? You've saved a
Yeah.
lot of time on explaining the gears.
Mm.
So keep it relevant.
Yeah.
You know, any idea what they're about? No? Would you like to know? No, that's what my dad's for.
Yeah.
But it's useful to know. What about the different colours of lights? What difference does it make? What do I do if an orange light comes on? A red light? Orange, get it checked. Red, stop immediately.
Yeah. It always says if.
It doesn't matter,
engine manual,
it doesn't matter if you've missed it out. You know, you're not going to fail your test because you've missed out mentioning the colour of a light or
Yeah.
whatever.
The main thing with me is listening to what you're saying
Hmm.
and interpreting that and engaging a conversation. And just, it's difficult to listen. Not a lot of people do it. Do they? In all walks of life. Even when you go to doctors and you say something to them, they're on a. No, you must take this because you're
Yeah.
anti-inflammatory diclofenac. They say it every time. You say you don't want it.
So it's. We were talking about it just before you arrived about how little we listen as human beings. We've half made our mind about what people are going to say before we even started. So in terms of what we've done today, how's that worked for you?
Yeah, it's been a big, massive change. Yeah,
I'll just pop this on so we can get a bit of aircon.
it's sort of like what
It's not very eco-friendly.
it releases stuff in your subcon. I might be going too detailed now. I'm just trying to find fancy words, but it does. It releases stuff in your subconscious what you don't use. You don't. I know people don't listen. You see it all the time. But it's difficult to. When you listen to people, you do. It does make things easier. It takes because you feel pressurised to get to say what you want instead of listening to what.
I suppose if you think of it in terms of you've got 4,000 words you can say on this particular subject,
Yeah.
and maybe only 100 of them are useful. By listening, you're going to make sure that the 100 that you use are the most effective. If that makes sense. Rather than just have that scattergun approach where you give me all 4,000 words and hope that I'm going to pick the 100 up. That looks like it's going to end badly, that. So, in terms of where we go next with it, are you okay for tomorrow?
Yeah. On day I can't do. Well, I can do Friday, but it'll be.
You can do next Friday, can't you?
Yeah. Oh, that's all in it. Yeah.
You can't do that one. Friday morning I'm out with Clark.
Yeah.
I don't know how much time so you're saying you can't. What time are you available on Friday?
This Friday.
Yeah.
But
You can skip one if you want.
To save about 12 o'clock. So I'm
Okay.
at hospital at Pinderfields on Friday.
What if we went for one? Would that be all right? Then I can have lunch.
Yeah.
Righty ho. Okay. So in terms of what we're doing today, have a think about how you want to go forward. How can I be the most use to you to help you get to where you need to be? And again, I'm a resource you can dip into all the time. And I think if we're using the techniques that we're talking about here, it doesn't matter who the learner is, whether they're an examiner enrolled, whether they're a learner, whether it's
Can I
me.
just get your thing that you don't like here?
Yeah, of course you can. I never said I didn't like it. I said I didn't use it.
No, you see, I think it'd have been better if I'd still listened to you, but just had this here because I was forgetting stuff. I'm thinking, look, hand controls, what do I do now? Whereas if I could have just had that there, not used it, but just talked and then just looked at that just to, because I didn't mention out about that.
Okay. Does it matter?
It's if we're going on a long journey.
My
and it's
name's Bob.
empty.
Today I was having my first lesson,
Yeah.
and your company sent you along. Crack on. On you go. Let's see what happens.
I'm wanting to look at this now.
Well,
Instead
go on
of
then.
engaging with
Go
you.
on, well, you were saying it might help you. Well, try it and see if it does.
Yeah.
That's the only way of knowing, isn't it?
Mm.
That's it, as well.
Good morning, Bob. My name's Darren.
Morning, Darren.
Do you mind if I call you Bob?
Not at all.
I'm going to be instructor for today because
Very
you're out of role. You never had a lesson before, so I'm going to tell you that instructors at
you're the
dentist.
instructor, yeah.
Right, Bob, there's a certain... Before we actually start driving, there's certain safety checks and to make sure we can operate the controls. We've got
Alright.
to do certain things.
Okay.
You got any idea what they are?
No.
No. Well, when you first get in a car, we've got to make sure doors are shut.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So, do you just want to just check, make sure it's safe and just open your door? Right. Give it a good... But how do you think you're going to know whether doors are shut?
Well, you can tell by the clunk that made, I suppose.
Yeah.
But,
And you see the rubber seal? If you look in that mirror, you can see rubber seal.
oh yeah.
Because I've opened the door, it's broke the seal.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it's not lined up, sometimes I shut it. But you can see it's sealed from back door.
Oh,
This
right.
one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So you
handy.
know it's shut. Yeah.
That work for the back doors as well.
No, it don't work for back doors. What? Pull it back doors, you'll just see a kink. Or if you do if back door opens, that seal will just be bent. You'll see.
All right.
seal,
Okay.
it'll sort of like.
So if
bend
I've got
out.
a straight line there, they're both shut.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Are you happy with that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Next, you got any idea what next thing would be? No. Seat. What we've got to do is adjust the seat so you can operate the pedals comfortably. And you've got to be comfortable in your seat to operate the pedals. So that left pedal there, if you want to shove it down with your left leg, what's that feel like? Does that feel like you're stretching for it, or there's too
No, it
much
feels
bend?
all right. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you happy with that? That you can shove it all the way down? Oh, stop! Out of roll. Done it again. You said it was all right. You went,
Right,
it's all right, and I went, well, are you happy with that? Well, you just said to me you're all right with it, so why am I asking you? You should have. If you could have been, if you were funny about it, you could have said, no, I'm going to change it now. 'Cause
That's okay.
right, next is this back here, Bob. You can make that tilt forward and back.
Is that like with this?
Yeah,
Is at the side, isn't it?
Yeah.
So where do I need to have it?
You want to adjust it so you can move your arms around steering wheels like that. So just put your arms around steering wheel like that. Did that feel alright? Like bending your... Feel comfortable there? You're not stretching for it or you feel cramped?
That feels all right. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Next. Head restraint.
Mhm.
Any idea what that's for?
That's to stop you getting whiplash, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you know how to be in the right position?
No.
How you set it? No?
No.
If you shove back like that, your head shouldn't go like this. It should just stop straight. It shouldn't be like that or like that. How's that feel?
Yeah. I think it's all right. I think. Yeah.
So you're happy with your seating position?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Next thing is mirrors.
Oh yeah.
Why do you think it's important that we have mirrors in a car?
Well, so you can see what's behind, isn't it?
Yeah. Then you've got the exterior mirrors. Do you know what them exterior mirrors are for?
Are they like? Because you can see at the side, can't you?
Yeah. There's a difference between this glass and that glass. A different type of glass. You know what it is?
No.
No. This is flat glass.
All right.
You just get a true reflection. What you see out window at back is what is a true reflection of what's at back here.
All right.
Like your normal glass. Whereas this glass inside is convex glass. It's sort of like got a curve. You know, have you heard about that? Or
No.
no. When you look at it, gives a wilder field of vision. So when you look, you can see more down, not just side of car, but away from car as well.
All right.
But it does make things look further away than what they actually are. They should make it so it doesn't, but that's just the way it is.
All right.
So, do you know how you set them mirrors up?
No.
No. If you what it needs to be is if you look. Oh,
And just stop you there.
yeah,
What you got on your lap?
I know. I'm not looking at it.
Well, if you're not going to use it, chuck it away.
Yeah.
Does it look like that? Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like this.
So, you're talking about convex and this is it. So have a look at it. What do you notice about the different view? Ooh, the railings look thinner in that one. So that'll give you a view that's wider and further away, but we don't
Yeah.
depend on that for judging distance.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with using that. But if you're going to have it on your lap, don't just sit with it on your lap, use it.
Yeah.
You've got a picture there. Does
I know.
it look
I
like
don't know. I
that?
got into
Oh, yeah, it
talking
does.
with you. That's why I didn't need it.
I suspected that might happen. But it doesn't matter.
I know why, because you played the part of that.
Don't know.
You don't know, so I started talking, so I didn't. Yeah, but I couldn't use that in conjunction with it. Yeah.
See, in my head, and I'll share this with you, in my head I thought, well, you've got it on your lap. I'll give you the opportunity of using it by saying I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you're not going to use it. So that's why I played the role that I played there. So everything's for a reason. Oh, that was close, wasn't it? My word. So have a think about what we've done so far, how you might want to structure lessons going forward, and start reviewing things in your head. Things will start making sense. You'll start making links to things, and it'll all start to make sense. It'll be all right. There's no right. There's no wrong. So it doesn't matter how it is.
Yeah.
It's how it ends up.
So if this were a real lesson and you were cockpit drilling, and you'd agreed with reflective log that pupil, if you said to them, "What do you want to do on next lesson?" I think we'll do moving off and stopping. When you come to pick them up again, are you just watching to make sure they do that drill, make sure it's safe, and if they miss something out, just
Don't forget.
just remind them. Don't forget. Yeah.
Can you reach everything? Everything set the way you want it? Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Because there'd be that. If you start instructing them again on some, it's so easy to do that, isn't it? To feel like you're not doing anything,
It's
so
the-
you're going to instruct them again.
Easiest thing in the world.
Yeah.
This is just take control and make things happen from the passenger seat. You feel in control then, you feel like everything's happening the way it should do. It's not really serving your pupil very well. They just sat there like, nobody likes being lectured at, do they? Nobody.
No. Because once them pupils pass the test, they're on their own, so that they're going to make their own decisions. That's what you've got to try and get them to make their own decisions before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same with any kind of learner. You've got to help them get to where they want to be in a reasonable time frame and in a fulfilling way.
There's a lot of new cars here, isn't there?
There is. Surprised Alan's having a new car, hasn't he? Suddenly just got that other one.
Are they just picking new cars
It's an
up
old
then
one,
today?
that's it. Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh.
All together now. So, what do you reckon as a provisional plan for tomorrow? You're not tied to it, it's just your initial thoughts now.
Maybe go on to moving off and stop it.
Okay. Then what will you do with that? What are you hoping to develop?
To get you to move off and stop.
Okay. I think when we're thinking in terms of targets for things, it's not just that, look, I want to take all those lessons off. You've really got to be thinking at this stage about the component skills.
Yeah, that's what I'm...
Which bits do you want to work on? And we might get creative, we might not even be in the car to deal with some of those. We might do some exercises on the blackboard or whatever it happens to be. Think of the component parts, which bits of it you're trying to work on, how you might best be able to do that for
Yeah.
you.
Just backtrack on what I said then.
Go on then.
Yeah, it's that.
This is only a provisional plan.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not to do with moving off and stopping. It's the way I've got to listen and to interpret. It's not just about driving, it's about other stuff as well. It's about interpreting. It's the same when I failed my test the other day. It's easy to focus on, oh, that bloke's at fault, and this junction was at fault, where isn't it? With my attitude to driving, that could have happened anywhere, because you've got that competitiveness in you. It's getting me.
I mean, you've
The way you're
analysed that to
thinking.
the nth degree,
Yeah.
which is great. But you could, he's got to shoulder some of the blame, the guy in the white van. However. But yeah, so it's working out, well, what do I need? Which bits do I need to work on? And can we isolate those bits? Sharpen them and then put them back in the bigger picture? Maybe. Or maybe running full lessons might be the way to go. Only you can decide. But so we just set a provisional plan.
Yeah.
You go home, do your reflection, think what worked, what didn't work. If I was doing that again, what might I do differently? What exercises could we do? What do I need from Bob? And just how we can set that thing up. And And in that way, you'll start to build up a set of skills that are meaningful, that work for you,
Yeah.
and you can then put into any scenario, really. Doesn't matter whether it's lessons or whatever. Good start.
Yeah.
How you feel?
I feel better than what I did at first. But yeah, one side you've got this, you want to get all this information out, and then but you're learning. It's like you've got two halves. You've got this dictatorship, and you've got this listening. It's just moving over slowly to the listening side, to
Well,
making
it's-
sure that you're
That's right.
interpreting.
It's great that you've got the ability to give all that information,
Yeah.
because that's probably the bit that takes the longest to memorise. So you've got all that information if you need it. I
Yeah.
think the key thing, if you use this listening skills carefully, you'll determine how much of that you
Yeah.
need.
But like, if you do start dictating, it's not. It's like you just go into a script and you're not listening to anybody. It's just all it looks like is you're just looking at a script. Yeah, accelerator. Probably doing it like that. You don't even need to look at people. You accelerate and make sure you press your brake. This does that. This does this. And it's like teaching. It's like you just repeat
Yeah.
teaching yourself.
It does work. We've got evidence that works.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's as effective. But it's about what you think.
Yeah.
Get things to work for you. Get you comfy in it. Get into the groove, if you like, so that it's just like it's just a two-way thing, back and forth, back and forth. It has to be more effective, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, it's
I think what you think, Bob.
well, yeah, that's the way that I will. I feel as though that's once I've passed. That's the way I want to go. That's the way I want to do it. Because that's what type of person I am. Even when I worked at previous job at Plasmos, I always. Well, people used to come up to me. They used to go up to my work colleagues and say, "How come Damon's a production supervisor? Because he always seems to be laughing and maybe having a bit of a joke every now and again. But how come he's got that job?" And they used to turn around and say, "Because he's good at his job. He makes it look easy, laid back." Whereas I don't want to be. I don't want to feel like I'm this high and mighty person
Good.
that's dictating to somebody. Because
Well, a hierarchy only serves to make the person at the bottom end of it feel small.
Yeah.
Well, what we need to do is to help them feel big, if you like. There's only small people like to make other people feel small. That's, yeah, let me just rethink that. Yeah. So, have a reflect.
yeah,
Same time tomorrow?
10 o'clock.
Same time, same place, same channel. Excellent. Turn that off.